This is my monthly unedited and raw therapy where I shoot the breeze and you guys are my therapists, so listen up. Hi guys, I'm Manu and welcome to another episode of Sweet Money. I'm a Canadian and US CPA. I've got a cool little accounting firm better known as Shandel CPA. You know, every time I say to myself that the woke left has hit rock bottom, they can't say or do anything worse than what they've already said or done. They somehow prove me wrong, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just is what it is, right? And as a brown dude, I hate it. I hate it when the white, liberal, woke, left women tells me how I should feel, whether or not I should be offended. And you know what? Save your virtue signaling for your high tea parties when you sip on your cup with your pinky finger sticking up, okay? I don't need to hear it. I don't want you to tell me when I should or should not be offended or appalled at something. And I just want to show you a video and then I'll give you my 2 cents on it. So here we go.
Nazis, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies the norm.
Why can't you have good genes, Mark?
Sydney Sweeney is a sex symbol. She is a young, hot woman. That is all this ad was about.
American Eagle's Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes campaign has unleashed a Hitlerian hysteria not seen since the US election. In case you've been living under a rock this week, this is what the fuss is about.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Well, half of the adverse viewers see a cheeky ad with an attractive actress flogging genes. The other half apparently see a subliminal propaganda campaign for eugenics, fascism, and white supremacy with a dash of Nazis thrown in for the mix.
Those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird, like fascist weird.
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics?
The attractive white woman with blonde hair, blue eyes is talking about just the genes she gets from American Eagle.
See a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman and think that is an all-American woman. That is the exact problem with this advertisement.
Hey, American Eagle, now do black and brown woman.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
I think we should just start shaming them instead. You are an embarrassment, Sydney Sweeney.
It's not just excitable people on social media who are losing their minds on this one. Even Good Morning America is wondering whether Sydney's great genes may herald the onset of a new Fourth Reich.
We begin with the backlash of our new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
So is Sydney Sweeney the new poster girl for white supremacy, or is it all, as one commentator put it, just ugly girl jealousy?
So that black girl saying, I can't walk into American Eagle because I'm not white. I mean, seriously, just get a life, okay? The bald eagle is a very symbolic animal in American culture and history. Okay, it's been their national bird since 1782, and it's been a prominent feature on the Great Seal of the United States. So from 1782 up until about the 1960s, the U.S., as we all know, went through a very dark time in their history, in which blacks were enslaved, and it's just a part of history they would like to forget. Kind of like how the Germans would like to forget that whole Nazi movement. The US is very similar in that regard, right? So does that mean that the eagle is now, implying white supremacy, right? Does that mean that the white eagle represents the white establishment in which, you know, colored people and black people should be enslaved. Like how far will you go, right? Like, what's the level of paranoia here? And in the beginning of the clip, the black dude says, and I quote, he says, "White women bodies are the norm." And I completely disagree with that. In the 80s, it was the norm. Brooke Shields and Samantha Fox were the gold standard when it came to American Beauty, and they were both white ladies. And in the 90s, it started to change. Shakira came on the scene, then Beyonce came on the scene. Aishwarya Rai from India became Miss World. Shasmita Sen from India became Miss Universe. Naomi Campbell was a very prominent black model. Tyra Banks was another one. So that whole perception that white women are the gold standard when it comes to beauty was completely destroyed about 35 years ago. So that's just, again, it's just creating that whole divisive, you know, mindset between whites and everyone else. And that's what the left, that's what they do, right? And, you know, so, and the funny thing is that these colored women brought hips, lips, and tits into vogue, right? And then you started seeing white women tanning because they wanted a bit of color. Then you saw white women getting Botox as time went on because white women wrinkle quite easily and they don't age as well compared to colored women who don't wrinkle as easily, right? So Botox came on to the scene. And then the Kardashians and, you know, these Shakira, they brought the hips into vogue, right? Then glute workouts became the norm. I see ladies in the gym working on their glutes 5 days a week. It's all they do. Like, they walk in, you know exactly which machine you're going to go to, right? And that became the norm. Then lip fillers and so on and so forth. So I really don't know what that guy's talking about. And as for Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, let's just go with that whole agenda that the woke left is promoting here about, you know, eugenics and how that white genes are superior, and that's what they're trying to say in this commercial. Let's just go with that for a second. Sydney Sweeney, if we look at her genes, her DNA, they're pretty good, right? Like, who would not want to date her, right? Which guy would not want to date her? So she is a very attractive, beautiful woman. So she does have very good genes in that regard, right? So that's a very factual statement. And Sydney Sweeney does make those jeans that she's wearing look good, right? That's also a factual statement. So I really don't know what was wrong or what was false in that commercial, because both statements or both implications are 100% correct. So, and the play on words is very engaging, because the first time I saw it, I thought it was a very entertaining commercial. You know, it starts off with the feet, it catches your attention. She has a very sexy voice, then it goes up, and it just caught your eye, and the dialogues were just very engaging. It was just a fantastic commercial. So kudos. And you know, good on American Eagle for doubling down and saying we will not bend the knee to the woke left agenda, right? So good on them. And American Eagle, next time I need to buy myself a pair of jeans, or if my child needs a pair of jeans, we will walk into the American Eagle store and we will take a look at your product. That's a promise from my family to your business. Okay. So, and guys, just because you're a attractive white woman, it's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So let's just get over it. And you know what the woke left, really what they wanted? I bet it was a black transgender female who was physically handicapped, looked like Snoop Dogg, and wore an anti-US t-shirt. and attended pro-Hamas rallies, this woke left would have given the commercial a standing ovation, right? It would have been great. Jaguar, I don't know what happened to them, but the Jaguar story, very quickly, they tried going woke, and the quarter that commercial broke, that came out, their sales dropped 98%. There was a 98% drop in their sales, and the CEO of Jaguar ended up resigning. A few years before this, Budweiser came out with a woke commercial. The exact same thing happened. Budweiser's sales fell drastically. I don't have the stats in front of me, but if you Google it, it was insane what happened, right? On the flip side, Rachel Ziegler and her woke agenda, she did Snow White, and it was with Walt Disney, it was a box office disaster, you know? So I think people are now starting to push back against this virtue signaling of the woke left, this whole divisiveness, like, you know, ooh, you're favoring one person over the other, and all this, you know, these tantrums and throwing their toys out of their stroller, and you should just look at, and these women that are complaining in the comments section, do you honestly believe these women have husbands or boyfriends? Like, would any man out there, like, just drop in the comment section, yes or no, would any man out there, would you want to date any of these women other than Sydney Sweeney? So of all these women that you saw, would you want to date any of them? Yes or no? Okay? Let me know. Moving on. Oh, one last thing. Back in the 90s, FUBU was a fashion apparel brand, and they came out with a line of sports apparel and clothing and shoes and this and that, and they were very popular for a short period of time. And FUBU stood for us, by us, and it was targeted towards Black people. And the funny thing is, at that time, the woke left, at no point did they ever say, hey, this is racist. Why are you only designing clothes for the Black community, right? No one had a problem with it. But just because American Eagle seems to have designed a pair of jeans for the white community, that's a big issue. So something to think about. I just want to stick around with the topic of fashion and advertisement for a couple more minutes here. Guess, also a clothing apparel, they just launched a whole ad campaign, and they had AI models. Okay. Now, some people have created a ruckus about this, that, hey, you're taking away jobs, and, you know, you could have gotten real models who need work and this and that. And I see their point. I'm not saying they're wrong, but the truth of the matter is that computer graphics have now been a part of media for a long time. So when you're watching the Avengers, and you see these aliens flying out of the sky and Hulk is smashing them one by one, these aren't real people falling out of the sky, right? Getting paid $50 for falling out. These are robots. It's computer graphics, right? So it's just a matter of time. AI is going to take over a lot of industries. I think it's not a secret. There's no agenda. It's not a hidden agenda anymore. It's in the open that AI is coming, and it's coming for everyone, right? So models are not immune from this. And in case you want to get, you know, these professionally made AI models for your, you know, business, it was created by a company called Seraphine Valora. They're a London-based AI-driven marketing agency. They only deal with AI marketing. So that tells you a lot, right? It's their niche. And they've done work for Elle Magazine, Wall Street Journal, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. So to all my male and female viewers out there, if you're aspiring to be a model, you may want to rethink that career. Just want to stay in the world of celebrities for a little longer. And you guys might find this intriguing, because I found this very intriguing. My boy JT was actually spotted having dinner. Actually, he was on a date. It was more than dinner. It was a date with Katy Perry, right? First, they went for a walk, then they went for dinner, and then they went for drinks. So this is my most articles, when I read them, I have an opinion quite quickly. But this one made me pause because Katy Perry I find very attractive. She's very attractive. She's successful. She has money. She has a lot of things going for her, right? She presents well. She speaks well. So I was actually shocked that a woman of her caliber would agree to go on a date with JT. I mean, let's be honest. It's JT, right? It's JT. So when she was on her concert, she was doing Montreal, Ottawa. That's when they met. And then the more I thought about it, I just have to be honest here. I have been very hard on JT, right? And I don't regret anything that I've said because it's all been factual. It's all true. There was like very little opinion that I've said about him. It was all facts. But this time around, in my opinion, it's my first opinion about him. It's a positive opinion. I think Homeboy has punched above his weight class, right? I did not think he had it in him to land a date with Katy Perry. Now, whether it goes somewhere or it doesn't, the fact that he got to sit with her is pretty impressive. But now on the flip side is, why did Katy Perry agree to go on a date with JT, right? That's the real question. What is it? And then I thought about it. She went through, I think the divorce is done with Orlando Bloom. So she's divorced. She's had a child. We don't know what kind of trauma she may have gone through during the marriage or during the divorce. And maybe she's walked out of this experience thinking, hey, I only want to deal with simps because they're just easier to control, right? Maybe it's as simple as that. So that's my 2 cents on it. Moving away from entertainment, but I want to stick on the topic of JT. So let's go down memory lane. So as we know, JT has a sparkling legacy. And one thing that we'll never forget that JT gave us was the fact that the open borders, right? He opened up the borders and migrants came in. We had a huge influx of students, and a lot of those kids that came in weren't even students. In Brampton, a lot of these boys were peddling drugs and a lot of the girls were going into prostitution, right? For whatever reason. So the whole thing was a scam. The education system was a scam. The cops were in it. It was really bad. But it is what it is. But anyways, so on July 29th, the Globe and Mail published an article, and it said that 600 foreign nationals have committed crimes and they're supposed to be deported. But the CBSA, the Canadian Border Security agents, have no idea where these 600 people are. They vanished. Now, this is a total, so the total number of foreign nationals who've committed crimes are 1,635 foreign nationals. 600 are missing. The remaining 1,000 or so supposedly will be deported. But the scary part is, these 1,635 people are those who've been caught. Now, how many migrants are there who've committed crimes, who came here illegally through open borders, but have not been caught? That's the main question. And we know, let's be honest here, we know how efficient our police system is, right? So these people have gone missing, they're vanished, they're ghosted. In Hindi, the word that we use, it's gaib ho gaya, right? They're gone. All right. So I guess JT is a gift that keeps on giving. And the only person, or not the only person, the only sector that benefits from these hooligans or these foreign nationals, or not foreign nationals, they're migrants, is the automotive sector, right? These guys come in, they steal cars, and they get shipped off to Africa. And then, the common person has to go buy a new car, and the automotive sector loves it. Hey, we get to sell a new car. This is great. So the gift that keeps on giving. All right, now I want to leave on a happy note. I know I've been very hard on young adults and teenagers, but it's because I want the best for you, right? I want you guys to do well in life so you guys can go on and become, high income earners and pay your taxes and and support me in my old age, right? Through CPP and medical benefits. Simple as that. Now, and everything that I've said to you guys is true, and I stand by it, okay? A 26-year-old proved me wrong. I thought all young adults and teenagers are out to lunch, but a 26-year-old has proven me wrong. I want to share this story, and I want this guy to become your benchmark moving forward. I want this guy to set an example for all of you so you know that what kind of work ethic you should have, okay? And in full transparency, I probably would not have done what this dude did, okay? So this 26-year-old by the name of Bo Chang Mei is a software developer, lives in the GTA. GTA is Greater Toronto Area. Homeboy gets a phone call from OLG. It's the Ontario Gaming Corporation. And they call him up and say, yo, dude, you just won $60 million. Now, for those of you outside of Canada, or you Canadians who don't know, a lottery winning is 100% tax-free. The amount is irrelevant. So this dude gets to keep the full $60 million. That's 60 with 6 zeros. It's an insane amount of money. So he gets off this phone call and he realizes the next minute he has a work call. You know what homeboy does? He jumps on that work call, acts as if nothing has happened, goes through the meeting, takes his notes, does what he has to do, and then after some point later on, he tells his boss, by the way, I won this money, right? In full transparency, I would have not attended that meeting. I would have written up my resignation letter during that time. That's what I would have done. What would I have done after that resignation letter? I don't know, but I definitely would not have attended that meeting. So props to Bo Chang Mei. Dude, you are an example for all of us when it comes to work ethic and loyalty. And hopefully we can follow your lead. And remember, it all starts with a simple conversation.